Welcome to the Real P&L Trading Show, where I share my real P&L on 3 accounts and share my proprietary safe wheel system for free. I actually trade it right in front of you. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. Sometimes my audio doesn't work too well, and I want to make sure it's working. So type in the chat there that you can hear me. Also, be sure to post any questions you might have. If you have any questions about options, trading options, or the wheel strategy, be sure to post those questions earlier rather than later. That way I can get to those. And Aya says the audio is good, so great. I appreciate that. Thanks. Okay, thank you, Steve-O, for letting me know the audio is working. I'm gonna move this a little bit. So today, let's talk about what's going on. There's some earnings coming up, which is nice. I look forward to that. This is my Earnings Edge account, and you can see my net lick, 11,680. Started this account with $5,000. Let's look at the this here, 11. What did I say? 11,680. Yeah. So you can see here what the Earnings Edge has done. Now I haven't traded anything on the Earnings Edge for a little while. There hasn't been any earnings coming out, but there are a lot of earnings coming out. Finally, it's earnings season, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm going to be more than likely placing a trade or two here in the next few weeks, and we'll see what the results will be. But I haven't traded for a while because there hasn't been anything that fit through the filters. And you can see my results for the Earnings Edge. Basically, 2022 outperformed, 2023 underperformed a little bit, in 2024 outperformed. This is all nominal performance, of course, not risk adjusted, but you can see 133%. You know, the what's S&P, what's SPY trading right now? Let's take a look at that. 555.85. Oops. 555.85. Do you know the S&P 500 is only up 17% since the beginning of 2022? I mean, I know it had this 24% run and the 17% run this year, 24% last year, but it goes down 20% and it's got a huge recovery. You can see, even though it went down 20% and it recovered by what, 40%? And it's only up about 17. So when you have these drawdowns, it's not just a little problem to overcome, it's a big problem. You don't want your drawdowns to be too high. This 20% drawdown, even when it was a 40% return, you're only up 17%. Okay, let's look at the Premier Level 5. This is another thing that's a risk-adjusted type return. This one, this year, not doing as well. And I've actually created a new filter for this to filter out the type of market that we're in right now, which is really good. So I'm going to have new back tests and different results than actually the live trading. Actually, the way that I'm trading it now, the live results really don't reflect that. So I may be doing an update based on that. But let's take a look at the account, Premier Level 5. Let's see, 31,917. 31,917. So I'm going to put that in here. 31,917. Okay, down 9% this year. Okay, so overall underperforming. Definitely underperforming here since I started on April 8th of 2022. I'm not too concerned about this. This is definitely the biggest drawdown I've seen with this system. One of the things I mentioned in my last video is that I've made well over $250,000 with this type of trading. Not exactly the PL5, but the very similar trade structure and trade plan. And so I'm, up well over $250,000 since 2019 with this trading style. So I'm not concerned too much about this drawdown. This is the largest drawdown that I've seen, though. But again, with the new system, the new update to this trade system, I might have to redo this because this isn't really the way I would have traded it with the updated trade plan that I put together. So that's what's going on with the PL5. So it's definitely performing much better than this based on back tests, right? This is reality here. So that is the air level 5. Let's talk about the safe wheel. What's going on with that? With the safe wheel, into this one, yeah, 63.15. So you can see my net liquidation on the safe wheel, 63.15. Also, LI uh, down on the year 551, and I'm actually getting out of LI. I'm not going to go back into it. So I totally got out of LI, and you can see that it's down 551. So I actually did not make money with LI overall. Did with DraftKings this year and last year. So, but I would go back into LI, but that because of that wash sale rule, I want to be able to write off the loss that I took on the stock because the loss on the stock is much higher than this 551. So I want to be able to write that off. So I can't get back into LI for 30 days if I want to do that. So I'm going to go into a different underlying because of that situation there. And somebody mentioned that to me. I don't remember. It was in my community. I appreciate that. Otherwise, I probably would have went right back in. But for tax purposes, I'm not going to. But let's see. What do we have? 63.15. 63.15. Okay, so I went down a little bit since Blaze of Glory trade. What happened was LI went up, but not far enough into my long $5 calls, so it went right into that little area where I didn't want it to go, which is fine. I mean, you just can't predict what's going to happen. And you can see with the safe wheel what the results are. You can see outperformed in 2022, underperformed in 23, and underperforming in 24. But overall, still outperforming. And plus, I only have about half the drawdowns of the S&P, so it's vastly outperforming when you have a risk-adjusted performance. So safe wheel is doing quite well. Let's take a look at the account now. And you can see I have nothing, right? I don't own anything because what happened was I sold a covered call. I own 200 shares. I sold 2 covered calls, and at the 1850 strike, and the stock went into what, $20. So I got called away from my shares, and I knew I was going to get called away from my shares before the market close of last Friday. So I went ahead and sold my put hedge, and I also sold my long call. So I just sold everything out, and now I'm starting at zero. So I'm going to start a brand new trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick another stock, and I've already picked the stock. I picked JD, and I picked it based on the price, being between $20 and $40. I picked it based on it has good premium available. It has good liquidity. There's no earnings coming up here in the next couple weeks. The put hedge cost is not too high, and there's a lot of strikes available for my put hedge. So let's look at this. So my put hedge here, typically I want to go 130 to 200 days. I'll take the 163. And if I look at the available strikes, I have a lot of strikes available, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and buy. First, I'm going to buy my put hedge. So I'm going to open up a new position here with JD. So the question is, where do I buy my put hedge? So right here, it's trading at 26.35. So I'm going to go about 80% of that. So $21 approximately is where I want to buy my put hedge right here. And I want to buy 3 of these. And looks like the mid price is 76. So maybe I can get it for that. Okay, JD, make sure I'm in the right underlying. In the right accounts, yeah. Okay, so now I'm in JD. I've got my put hedge on, and I'm going to now do the traditional wheel. Well, actually, I need to protect this put hedge, so I'm going to buy a $5 call, but I'm going to do it in the near expiration. So the closest one that expires in 4 days. Let's go with that. This one right here, the 2850, looks like I can get for $5. I'm going to do one of those. Now, because I have between $5,000 and $10,000, I'm going to do one wheel contract and 3 put hedges. If I had between $10 and $15,000, I would up that to 2 regular contracts and 6 put hedges, right? But let's protect that put hedge. Let's see if I get that order. Looks like it filled. So now I'm protecting the put hedge. And now I'm going to run my traditional wheel. I haven't done this for a while. I haven't opened up a new position in quite a while. So what I want to do is go as far. I'm going to sell a put out of the money or at the money, but I want to get at least 26 cents for it. Right here, I can get 28 cents and I'm out of the money a little bit. So I'm going to sell this one. I might be able to get $27 for it. I'm going to sell one here. Okay, that filled. All right, so now I have my position. I've got my hedges here. The 28. I got the $26 put. I got the $21 put hedge, and I've got the $28.50 call hedge for the put hedge. Right, these are this one hedges this position. This position is going to hedge my wheel. And now I run the traditional wheel and I'm hedged. And it's called the safe wheel, of course. Okay. Let's see if there's any questions about what I just did there. I opened up a new position. Will says, if you would have kept your put hedge, you would have made like $200 this morning. Yeah, probably. Yeah, because what is LI down 3.5%? Yeah, probably would have, but that's too directional for me. That's just like 100. Oh, just like short, and there's no hedge either way. And I don't like to trade that way. I like to trade hedged. But yeah, that would have been nice. And Will says, never mind, it made 158. It was still $158 would have been nice. Considering I'm down 550, so kind of erased the gains that I made with DKNG for the year. That's the safe wheel. There's a lot of people trading the safe wheel in the community. And if you want the fast track to the safe wheel, because not everything that when I've traded this live, there's been different scenarios that haven't occurred yet, right? They've never occurred, but they're all part of the course in case those things do occur. Or if you want the fast track, you can get in there and you can check out the safe wheel course, and it'll give you everything you need to know about it with the flow chart and everything. Okay, just see if there's any questions. I don't see any questions, so I'm going to move forward here and say one thing before I part. If the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back next week.